everyone, and welcome back to Rebooked, the show where we talk about the meaty men and women who be snapping all the meat in the middle of the square circle and the stories they tell in the process, brother. I'm, of course, GB, current guy yelling at you right now. We're joined, of course, by the man himself, TNA's Matthew Walt. I'm here in Chile, so I'm rolling my R's a lot more. And we're joined by Jake the Brain Burnett. Yes, we're back. The gang is back together. This time around, though, I am in Santiago, Chile, because I'm here for VCT Masters Chile. This has been one of the greatest events I've ever worked in my life. It is
really
so
cool
fun.
city. It's an awesome city.
Gorgeous city. The fans are crazy, man. I've never experienced something that was just so like instantaneous. Like they showed up and they had chants, they had songs, they had all sorts of unique things ready to go. It was fun. It's been amazing. I leave tomorrow. I'm so sad.
I feel like I don't know, because I had like the exact same experience when WWE went there when I was there, and it's like it feels like for whatever reason the fans of whatever it is, TV, movies, wrestling, games, all this stuff, they're really looped in to the things around the world, but nobody really goes there often. So when something comes into town, they are like fire.
That's what they all told me.
Yeah,
that's what they all told me.
Nothing comes enough.
It's la passion. That's
exactly.
Hell yeah.
They don't get it. So like, and for this, you know, I think like with esports and with wrestling too, I would imagine there's like such a more personal touch to it. And as a result, like you're hearing a lot of fans be like, I really hope that they hear us so that they can come back, you know, so that they can come back here again. The fans want it. And I just think it's been amazing. I can't imagine doing wrestling down here. It must be so freaking epic, and esports did not disappoint. So good time. So that being said, I have been away, and you know I've been doing a lot of work and traveling and stuff, so I've been out of the loop. So this episode, I'm gonna be a passenger princess. Okay, I'm just gonna guide the conversation, do my job, except this time I do it for something that I love even more, which is great. And I just get to be a host. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a host. All right. Because there's a lot happening. And it's a lot to keep up with, man. So before that, though, do want to give a massive shout out to both of you guys for covering the fort for me last week. And also huge shout out to Scan, who is filming right now for us.
Yep.
I couldn't do the whole setup. Usually I would bring my production setup here. Couldn't do that. Scan, though, came up clutch. So thank you for that, buddy. Overall, though, how you guys feeling? Jake, miss your face. How are things?
I was just trying to fix my lighting. I feel like I'm on a telenovela right now, the way I'm lit. Like,
because you're turning everyone on.
I kind of look dark and mysterious a little bit. Maybe. Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, well, see, nothing's changed there. Matt, how you doing as well, bud?
Yeah, not too shabby. I got done. I did a independent show down in Florida on Sunday, came back yesterday, leave tomorrow for Atlanta for Impact stuff, which will be really cool. And so it's just kind of a go sort of week myself.
Yeah, I'm so sorry you had to go to Florida, though. That's
hey. Well, look, I know, but it's
kidding.
It's like the weird. It was a like torrential downpour, but
really,
yeah, it's funny. I lived there for 5 years, and I was like, God, it's nice, but I miss seasons. And then I moved back here, and I'm like, you know what? I don't mind 75 in February.
It's not bad. That is one thing that if I do move back to New York, I am gonna miss the cool temperatures of LA, but then also it can get kind of hot, but it depends what time of day it is. LA just seems like, well, this area in general always just seems like the temperature's all over the place. But I still enjoy, at the very least, walking outside and it's like clear blue skies and stuff like that. That is the thing I do enjoy. But I do miss snow. I miss snow a lot. So
you say that for the first winter or two, and then Yeah, every year after Christmas.
Yeah, I
can be
don't
like,
think the
"I'm
people
good."
of New York miss it so much this year. I mean, because
Well, listen,
to miss it, it
maybe I
has
could
to
have gone
go
and got
away.
paid from my, or, comrade Mamdani hooking your boy up,
Hell
with
yeah.
a
Perhaps.
$30 an hour. I had a cousin
Shoveling
who went
job?
to go do
Hell
it.
yeah.
And it was awesome. So, anywho, yeah, but we got a lot to talk about. So, let's go ahead and dive right into it because, like I said, there's just been a lot that has happened and a lot of good, I'm stoked. All three companies, I think, are just now hitting, in my opinion, from what I've seen. But I'm curious to get your guys' thoughts. We'll start first with TNA because TNA continues to be the gift that keeps on giving. We're getting, some great matches, good returns as well. I want to start it off though with the honestly, I would say right now the main character of TNA. I think it was safe to say Steve Maclin. He's coming in as this very bitter, frustrated, individual, has all the right to be. Even got into some fisticuffs with you, Matt. Oh, I wasn't ready for that.
Neither was I.
Why don't you go ahead and talk about
Clearly.
that if you don't mind. If you don't want to talk about it, it's fine. But I know
No,
it was
no.
deeply personal.
Yeah. No, so I mean, like, it's true. This thing with Macklin, you missed a couple weeks. We had the Feast or Fired matchup. He got the Fired briefcase, which sometimes is a way to write people off TV. Sometimes it's a way to kind of kick off a new storyline, which is what happened here. Macklin kind of snapped and has taken his anger out on mainly Mike Santana. Especially, the triggering word being selfless. Mike called him selfless on the way out. Like, you're a good dude. And that kind of, I like that they wrote it that way, actually, because it is. And I get the reaction because, like, yeah, I have always put this place first. When the whole NXT thing was going on, I was here holding the line with one of our few singles titles, all that stuff. And this is kind of my comeuppance as I get shit canned. And so, yeah, he kind of beat the crap out of Santana, kept trying to get back in the building and all that stuff. So Tom, who's made it very clear in public about how close they are as friends, has kind of been the mediator or a middleman for him. And they finally got him last week, I should say, a chance to kind of say his piece in front of the audience. Tom was given the responsibility basically of like, all right, he's your buddy. You're putting your neck out for him. He's got something to say. You talk to him. And so he did. And Steve got frustrated, tried to call him out on some of his BS. And Steve took a little pot shot at old Tommy Bear, give him a little sucker punch to the gut. And
I like it.
Yeah, well, let's not act like that's not a serious attack. That's how Houdini died, man. I mean, like taking an unexpected punch to the gut.
Something.
No.
Oh,
wait, was
did
it
he do that
did
though?
he really die by getting punched in the gut? I didn't know about that.
Yes.
That's
Was it like
crazy.
a kidney punch or something?
This is the history they don't teach you in our schools.
Yeah, this is the history.
Man.
But you know what? I will say though, I like the fact that firstly that you guys are getting more involved, right, in the narrative. I think that's good. I liked it when FTR had that brief kind of spat with Tony Schiavone and Nigel McGuinness. All I'm saying is if this doesn't lead to, at the very least, Drama King versus Steve Maclin matchup,
all right. I'm gonna
Carlos Silva, I'm calling it right now. No. Okay. Wait. But genuinely speaking, I think it actually, I know you're going to hate everything that I'm saying right now, Matt. So understand that you're not involved in this conversation. This is a me and Jake conversation.
You can mute me, Stan. Thank you.
But Jake, realistically, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have a wrestler on commentary. This is a good trope. I don't see a reason why not to lean into it more. to create more of that drama. But I also understand that Matt probably doesn't want to get punched in the face viciously. So there is a lot of,
No.
pros and cons.
Well,
Mhm.
so and all seriousness, no. So the
Yeah.
only thing about it is if it fits, if there's a way for it to fit in, then I don't necessarily disagree. But the trouble with me is like I also have like I wasn't so again, what if you didn't see it, I got shoved to the ground too. That wasn't supposed to happen. That was a spur of the moment
Yeah.
thing, so that wasn't factored into any plans or anything like that because
Sure.
I thought he was leaving a different direction. He walked right in front of me and I'm like, well, I have to I'm already acting like upset about this. Like that's kind of the role I'm playing. So like I can't just like, hey, so like I just spun him around and I knew he would. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, kick me, push me, please, something. And he did. He just
You were
shoved me to
ready for the
ground.
bump. I mean,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it clearly.
Not my first rodeo, pal. You know what I mean?
I
So,
know.
I would rather, as much as I was like, yeah, but I would rather focus, obviously, because it's going to be something with Steve and Mike, right? Obviously, that is the true end game. So if we can be used to add some color, add some
to
flavor,
propel that story forward and add more personal touches, right?
but
Well,
I
you
don't
are the
want
color
us to take
commentator.
away from it. That is true. I
So-
don't think it should be
so
like
do
some
your job,
side
Matt.
quest to like fight me and like a thing with me and Tom versus Steve, like that kind of
Sure.
That because I imagine this is going to be going down at Sacrifice in like 3 weeks. So like
Yeah.
there's
Special
not a-
guest referee.
maybe, right?
I mean, I think that would be, but look, I totally get what you're saying, though. The only thing I will add to that, and Jake, I'm curious to get your thoughts on this too, but the only thing I will add is that I like the difference in this. It's not a matter of you and Tom being the story, but I think it's a matter of you guys are broadcast colleagues and someone who, your colleague who's thought you had a friend in the ring, sucker punched him, and then went and put his hands on you. And there could be a justification for you to just be frustrated, right? I could see a world where it's like you show up behind the scenes and you're like, I go to Santino, I want a match, or Daria, I want a match, or something like that, right? Or just give me an opportunity to like talk with him or something to that effect. But I do think that it does add more wrinkles to the story because the selfless line was brilliant. And now we get to see Steve Maclin truly be selfish. And I want that to just continue to be added on more and more. I really feel like we're on the cusp of something great here with Maclin. I'm so freaking in, Jake. So I want to get your thoughts. What do you think about this whole situation? And we'll move on to the next topic.
Well, for starters, in regards to Maclin punching Hannafin last week on Impact.
Yeah.
Are we sure he wasn't asking for it being dressed like that?
Wow.
I mean,
wow. Victim blaming Jake.
Oh my
Didn't
God.
know-
I don't know.
Wasn't on my Tuesday bingo card. Sorry.
Oh,
Tuesday,
that's so funny. That's so funny.
No,
Is it?
and second of all, I am glad that you did something, because the second he punched Tom, I counted to 3 and was like, it's been too much time. Matt has not gotten involved. And so I picked up my phone because I was so ready. I was so ready to
Chew
flame
me
you
out.
online. If you had done nothing to help Tom Hannafin.
It would have been funny though. It would have been funny.
I was like, please.
So it was tough too, because like, all right, a little inside baseball kind of thing again. So the idea was that back and forth, something set Steve off. He finally takes the move, hits that, and then the idea was that Mike basically hits the ring almost instantaneously, right?
Mm.
But logistics where he's coming through the crowd, the cue might have been off a second. And so originally my idea was like, I would, but I, in theory, shouldn't have any time to kind of get up and get involved. Because it should, and again, I didn't want to slide in when I wasn't supposed to and
Right,
take
right.
focus away when Mike was going to be getting there
Sure.
to do
Yeah.
his stuff with Steve. So I was
Right.
kind of like, I got to do something. So I was going to, I knew I was going to throw my headset off, react, maybe cuss at Steve kind of thing. But then like when it took longer, and like you said, he went the kind of the one side and then had to cross over. I was like, well, we're killing an extra 10, 20 seconds here anyway. So, yeah, that
Might as well
was
do
that
this.
awkward thing. Or I was like, yeah, I would have been happy to like slide in there or whatever. But I knew, again, I didn't want to pull focus from what I knew was
No, yeah.
supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right.
yes, it
right.
would have been
but
beautiful fuel.
When there was a confrontation at the desk, I was like, okay, I'll let it slide.
Yeah.
I'll let it go.
Yeah. No, it was good.
But I was like, because I was like, oh man, just knowing Matt as I do, I figured like IRL he would have slid in there. And so
Sure.
I was like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
waiting
yeah.
for maybe something happens at the desk, and something happened at the desk, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
all good
yeah.
then, all good.
Well, we'll
no,
see
this
what
is
happens.
this is
Yeah,
the best
go ahead.
story. This is the best story in
I
TNA.
think it is. Yeah.
It's
think
by a mile. It's the best story in TNA, I think.
Yeah.
And it's been a highlight. It is making me want to come back every Thursday to see what is going on Impact with Steve Maclin and with and with Santana. It's been really good. It's been really good. And
This
I
has been
can't
a
wait to see where it goes.
brilliant reign for Mike Santana.
Mhm.
I like it. I think like kind of needed this, just
Sure.
good, stable,
Yep.
good matches. And he's getting involved in some things, but this Macklin thing, this is like some good personal stuff.
Maclin had crazy heat during that segment.
Yeah.
Like
barely let him talk.
he had some crazy heat during that. So that was great. And the thing too is I don't really feel like we got any answers from Steve. I still feel like there's some part of this that we don't know yet that he hasn't said or spoken out loud. I don't know. I feel like there are several unanswered questions because I don't think he answered a lot of Tom's questions. It was kind of, I don't know,
Yeah.
because he pushed back on a lot of it. So I'm interested to see what lurks below these layers that we have to get through.
Yeah. And we got a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Right. So we got time. What were we gonna say,
Before we wrap that up, though, for the record, I did strongly pitch a faithful recreation of Vince and Stone Cold with JR, where he comes out and says, "You're taking it easy on your best friend. Open him up." Tom, for some reason, shut it down, was not
I
on board
mean-
with getting absolutely bloodied by Steve.
Yeah.
But whatever. I'll convince him one
Come
day.
on, Tom. Do it for the
Some people are throwing
it for
the
the plot.
around. I'm not
Do
one
it
of
for
those
the bit.
people, but people are
For the
saying,
bit. Yeah.
do it for the bit, Tom. All right. Come
Mhm.
on, dog. No, it's all good. Yeah, we'll be keeping eyes on that. As we have been. This is great. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Also, a reminder too, if you are subscribed to us here on YouTube, make sure you click that bell icon so that you can get reminded when we pump out a new episode of Rebooked. That isn't the only cool thing that happened on TNA, though. We had Mickie James returning. This happened, was this 2 weeks ago or was this last week?
Yeah.
Because I remember she came back recently, right? At like a
Yeah.
show.
So she came back 2 weeks ago to kind of confront the Elegance brand and everything. And then they had the face-to-face between the two of them last week.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, it's great to have her back. There's Mickie James. I not much else needs to be said. I think it's going to lead to some good matches. She's a veteran, so it's going to elevate people. I think it feels like that would be the purpose of this, Matt. Right? Like just an opportunity for her to kind of, or do you think this is her getting back into the swing of things and maybe doing a little bit more? I don't know.
I mean, obviously, with as far as TNA and Mickie James is concerned, I think it wouldn't surprise anybody to say Mickie can kind of punch her own ticket, so to speak.
Yeah.
right?
Come in whenever. Yeah.
Kind of do as much or whatever, as little.
There's just a ton of
or
respect that she's earned.
Yes, absolutely. So she can kind of play this how she wants. But to your point, I mean, this does seem like a prime spot and position to elevate Ash. Ash, who thought she was done, had to, deal with some medical stuff, some personal stuff kind of thing. And so was kind of just managing the Elegance brand. Literally, I mean, that is as far as a shoot as far as you can go. Thought she was
Yeah.
done. Things got the good news she needed and is now back active in the ring again. And so like this seems like a perfect place to like if you want to reestablish her as like a top heel. And if you saw the stuff they did last week, the face to face, you know, they already were being Elegance Band being creepy and weird with Mickey's son to try to lure her back and then jump her. So like got personal, it got heated, and you know, yeah, what better way to establish yourself back as a top heel in the knockouts division by maybe taking out one of the greatest knockouts of all time.
Yeah, no, fair point. Jake,
So
you know, is this an opportunity for maybe another run for Mickie James, or do you feel like this is just a good thing that kind of reestablishes Ash and the Elegance brand, and going after a veteran helps? What do you make of that?
I'm hoping that it's to help further establish the Elegance brand and maybe some other women in the division. Um, you know, not that I'm ever against seeing Mickie James hold gold again, but I think right now in this time where TNA has a chance to make a big splash, they're back on network television. Well, on network, but you know what I mean. They're back they're back on TV,
Yeah.
and they're doing great. Let's bring some more eyes, bring in the legend, Mickie James, and let's showcase as many of these talented women on the roster as we can. I feel like just, you know, knowing Mickie James as I do, we have such a personal relationship. But she just seems like the kind of person who does want to give back to the division. And I think that's what I hope that she's here to do. And I think it will do wonders for the TNA women's division, for the knockouts division. I think it'll be great.
I think what I'm actually interested in, because you know, we currently, right, our current knockouts world champion is the young Ariana Grace. Very controversial, you know, championship victory. Good bad guy. You know, has a good kind of bad guy aura around her. Opportunity for maybe a veteran to swoop in and catch the young blood off guard, win a championship. Maybe Mickie James holds gold again, and then Ash can beat a legend for the title. That would be a fun one. I would like to see, and granted, you don't need to do that. I think you could do it in a variety of ways, because then that kind of removes Lei Ying Lee, which I think she still should be involved in the picture. So I don't know. There's a lot of really cool areas, Matt, that I think, you know, they could just take with this, especially with Ariana Grace's champions, like a really good bad guy that you can kind of build off of as well. So there's a lot happening over there too, right? Is there a person that you'd like to kind of see get more slotted in there? Do you think that what we're seeing with this Elegance Mickie James thing could potentially parlay into that in the future? Or
there's a lot.
I mean, could
there's
Mickie
a lot
James
of
not
moving
team up with somebody to take the tag titles from the Elegance brand?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
that too.
There's that
Yeah.
too.
You know?
Because like there's a lot of people. I mean, you have Lei Ying Lee, who, you know, is going to want a rematch. You have I mean, sometimes parts of the knockout division maybe seem for lack of a better term, overbooked, because we have that. Jody Threat won a battle royal for a future knockouts title shot that we don't know when that's happening. And Danny Luna still has her shot that was supposed to be at Genesis, but the visa stuff messed that up. And I was on record as saying I think Danny Luna is set up to have an incredible 2026 and could be a monster. So there's a lot of people that could be and should be and will be involved in that knockouts world title situation. So yeah, for now, I mean, I do love the thread that both Ash and Mickie are two knockouts champions who never lost the title in their last reign.
Ooh.
They both had to drop it due to injury and never got rematches. So there is a fun little thread there to play with too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, she did mention that in her promo. I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be a number one contender match.
you got a lot of options.
Yeah.
It's a healthy place, I think, for TNA to be in. I know you said like the overbook thing, but all I'm hearing is just options on options
You got
on
options.
options.
You got contenders. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you got contenders. It was a thing that we were worried about for a while.
Yes.
In this show. And now, here we are singing a different tune. So just how incredible only a couple of months can change how that conversation goes. There are two big matches this week, Matt, right? What do you guys have on the docket? Because I didn't catch this one.
Yeah. So, I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
we are live this week when it comes to Atlanta. So, yeah, like these are all coming at you. Nick Nemeth is getting an X Division title shot. And also keep in mind, keep in the back of your head that Eric Young still has his guaranteed X Division title shot from Feast or Fire. I believe that's the only title match, but
And then
there
we
is
have
a
the
number
number
one
one contender.
contendership match in the tag team division, which will be cool. So you'll have Sinner and Saint, BDE, Rich Swann, The Righteous, The System, four-way tag matches, lots of chaos. And Moose starts his path through the system with a street fight against Cedric Alexander, and then some knockouts action with Mara Shade and Elena Black.
Who we think wins that number one contender tag match? Who fits in this situation right now? I got to go with the system. The Righteous?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The Righteous, after they've been all buddy with the Hardys, and then they win the number one contendership, and they've got to go against them. I think that's fun and interesting.
We did just
I could also
that
see
at
the system,
Genesis.
Yeah, I know.
Is my only. I feel like there might be some more legs to. I feel like they're going to continue to try to back them up, and it will ultimately maybe against like a system, coming up, and it'll backfire when they try to help, and it will all disintegrate into righteous Hardy madness. Perhaps things get broken.
Perhaps they do.
Yeah, and I don't think that you need those guys to hold the tag titles right now. I think they need to continue to build the story with the Hardys and the audience. And if they're coming into this one with maybe they're like, are they bad guys? Are they good guys? Hey, like that. That's quite intriguing. But I think
Dutch gives off big Jesse Gemstone vibes. To me.
Yeah, that's
very
cool.
big, very big Jesse Gemstone vibes every time I see him.
I guess what I'm left with, Jake, is like, does this new version of the system benefit more from a potential tag title reign? Because I think the Hardys could drop the belts now. I think it's been quite a while, and they've gotten a lot of great matches. So one hell of a run. But I think I could go with a more, hey, this is a new system project, needs to be draped in gold, blah, 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 versus the Righteous, who can easily go into a story with Hardy's post-title reign. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's easily viable storyline that they could probably end up doing as well. I mean, it makes sense. Like you said, we've said it time and time again on this show about, how you get a faction over, give them all the titles, get all of the titles. And so, I mean, that seems to be the easiest way a faction that's starting up or restarting seems to get some momentum is by winning the tag titles. So, I can see that. I could definitely see the Righteous costing the Hardys the titles in some way, even if it is, a
mistake.
So I think that's probably the likely storyline the likely path that we'll end up going down with all of this.
Yeah. Well, look, we'll be keeping eyes. Impact this Thursday. It's going to be live. Check it out. You'll see that guy right over there. So you'll see him live, and we'll get a little bit more answers, hopefully, with Maclin. Maybe we see him pop up a little bit. Well, of course.
Is Hannafin making the trip? Is he still recovering at home?
I hear he's doing Rocky-like training.
Died this way. Okay.
I hear he's chasing a chicken around a farm somewhere, getting ready to fight Maclin.
I see Hannafin walking in like Daniel LaRusso with his ribs taped up in Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Like something like that.
You got to ham it up.
And then
You
you
gotta
can
handle
do
it.
the,
I want to tell
you
him
can
like,
heal him
even though
with
he
the
got
hand
punched in
rub.
the gut, I wanted to be at the table on Thursday with like a head bandage or something and like a sling.
Yeah,
Yes.
a sling, primarily a sling.
I wheel him to the
Yes, I want. Yes, I
Yeah.
want Hannafin out there in like a full body
Stokely
cast,
style.
like
Stokely
like some
Hathaway.
yeah, like some kind of Looney Tune character.
I'm
Yeah.
in. I'm in. Well, look. So yeah, we'll find out what happens then. Lots of excitement for sure. Haven't eaten anything, so I grabbed my almonds from a bag. So let's go ahead and move on because AEW again, another great week of wrestling television for those guys. I think like we're at this point where AEW feels like they're not even. It's not risks that they're taking because they're just doing good stuff. One risk, if you had to go and say was a risk, is Tekla being the new AEW Women's Champion. There was a lot of conversation about the Chris Statlander title reign. It was her first World Championship reign. I have no doubt that she'll win another one down the line. But Tekla, she's been really growing. She's been awesome to see develop the Triangle of Madness, Triangle of Madness or Sisters of Sin. All that stuff has been, just it's a different tone. It's a different vibe that AEW hasn't really had. You go from like Toni Storm, this very like funny but serious gimmick with her constantly going through different times and eras of wrestling or just media in general, to Mariah May's, the glamour and everything that happened there. But this one just feels so like different to me, and her attitude is different. She'll talk crap. She's very, vocal, but at the same time in the ring, she's super exciting to watch. Matt, it just feels like this is a great opportunity for Tekla to not just establish herself as a superstar, but really establish herself as an AEW superstar and really like just sink her teeth into this. I think we're on the cusp of something potentially very special here with Tekla, and who knows where it goes with the rest of the Triangle of Madness. What do you think of her at winning the title, and where do you like to see it go?
I was just like a lot of people. I was kind of shocked at first just because I didn't think they would take it off stat yet. But I think that was a good example of a like bold move, Cotton, that paid off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it was a cool choice because to your point, I mean, Toni Storm loomed over the women's division so large, and we have loved every bloody second of it. Like, don't get it wrong, but I think it did start to feel like who. And to be fair, there was nobody at that level of just like star power and like camera, just
The only one was Mercedes Moné, and she already had too much on it already.
Yeah,
So,
and with all her gold, exactly, and everything. So it was like I understood almost the move of just like, hey, we just kind of pull the Band-Aid off and give it somebody a shot. So I like to see Stat get the run, and she was kind of your classic, just like smash mouth, no nonsense, fighting babyface kind of thing. And classic. Then it's kind of a reset for the women's world title situation because of the era of Storm. You start off with just kind of like a plucky baby. I feel weird saying that plucky is not an appropriate word, but just like I said, just kind of like your like tough white meat babyface kind of player, right? Hardworking, just kind of a straight up babyface. And then she runs into somebody who I feel in Tekla kind of, maybe inadvertently, maybe on purpose, feels very much like a 90s era, like 101 heel. Like she took it, and then we've talked about it last week, Jake. She's cutting it, and it has an extra charm because she's like in English as a second language, but she just leans into all these like, you suck, like I'm awesome. You're a piece of shit. Like, I'm the best wrestler ever. Like, just straight old school trash talking. And so sometimes it feels good to just get that old school, like black and white, like cocky. And she's absolutely a fantastic wrestler. So like it was kind of this nice little just like old school reset of the division. We've got new contenders. So like I don't know. I think it's kind of an exciting time in that division.
Now, what about for you, Jake?
You could tell she's having fun with it. That's the important part. And so to your point, to wrap it all up, I think she has an opportunity to more than just like this nice little reset that I talked about, but like she has an opportunity to really make her kind of stamp on the division.
Yeah. And she's really taken a swing at it too. That's what I think is so great. Someone like this finally gets an opportunity, and one that's unexpected, that is kind of a like, let's see what you got kind of moment. Like she's just going for it and she's doing her thing, and that's what's making it so enjoyable. Because Matt, you're right. The way that she's portraying a heel right now, I feel like I should see her in a ski contest to save the mountain from
exactly. Yeah, she's an 80s movie.
Yes.
I love it.
Like that's the vibe that I get from her, and I love it too. It's a lot of fun. I mean, in a way, it's kind of the same thing that Tony's been doing, just the complete opposite side of the coin.
Kind of. Yeah.
And it's really unexpected and enjoyable.
And it's fun. And I think to that exact same point, because it is that kind of like character, or again, in the way she's presenting those promo, it's really good. Like we can appreciate it for how good it is, but at the same time, it's not above, like if I was there in person, I would want to boo. It would be fun to boo. Yes. You don't feel like, oh, she's like, Tony was so awesome as a heel that you couldn't help. It was just like, we love this, clap for it. But like Tekla is really good and really entertaining, but I still want to boo because it's fun to boo that kind of character.
Absolutely.
So it feeds both masters.
I want her to have like cosplay where she looks like that the chick who's in Griff's gang in Back to the Future 2.
Yeah.
With that one long nail. She's so much fun. She's a lot of fun. Yeah.
And also too, I know this is going to sound weird to say, but AEW also needed another woman's wrestler with like an entrance, like a big entrance, like something that was that really made you feel like this person's important. Because I think like her whole shtick, and now with the belt, it's just going to be even cooler. Like she's just going to look like even more of a badass, like her music is awesome. Like, she is the shit. Like she needs to lean into that more. Maybe a little Sisters of Sin interference here and there, but for the most part, like she's going to get the job done herself because she's a damn good wrestler and is more than capable of being able to finish a job on her own. But she'll take those shortcuts where she can because she knows that she's the shit. And I think like that is, I like it. Yeah. So just roll with it.
She's Rita Repulsa from Power Rangers. That's who
more
she
violent.
is.
Even though, you want to know a fun fact? Because I'm a big Power Rangers fan. But I also got into the Japanese Power Rangers Super Sentai. And apparently Rita Repulsa, well, her name's Bandora in that show. So when you actually watch it, it says Bandora's Palace or Bandora's Castle in the old Power Rangers show. So that's kind of like a carry forward from that. But apparently Bandora's whole thing was that she was trying to capture children to eat them.
Sure.
Yeah.
That was her whole
She's
story.
a wicked witch.
She's in the files.
Well, Hundo P. Right next to the president. But so in any case, though, we will see.
I've never met Rita Repulsa. I was friends with someone who did some business with Rita.
Just so happens that she was like really tight with Howard Lutnick, went there a couple times by themselves. Oh, man. But look,
I wish her nothing but the best.
From one world champion to another, though, MJF is just great. We're liking what we're seeing from him right now. I like this old school wrestling shtick that he's carrying with himself, Jake. It's It's good. It's got this, like very modern era Ric Flair type of vibe to it, where he's going to all these independent wrestling promotions. He's beating their top stars, flicking their eyes, doing the dumb shit that he'll usually do. And it's working. And it's such a change up from everything that he has done in the past, yet it still feels familiar. I got to give him credit for that. But also the way that I loved the whole coin flip thing last week.
Yes.
I thought that was so good because on the surface, you're like, MJF is doing all this really awesome stuff. He's winning these matches. He's really showing who he is, blah, blah, blah. And then he comes out with the oldest trick in the book, the double-sided coin. Jake, what did you think about that segment? Did you like the way that it played out, but also just thoughts on MJF in general?
I loved how it turned out. At first, I thought if they were really doing this, and it was based on a coin toss, I thought that could have actually been a fun idea. But as soon as he said, I will do it for a coin toss, well, we'll flip a coin, 50-50 shot. My first thought would be that would be fun if that's what they're going to do. My second thought was that ain't a real coin. I was like, come on, wait, there's no way. And him doing it and seemingly getting away with it and leaving was great.
So
and I'm so glad that we just are past the dumb baby face.
When he said, "Do you really think I'm a dumbass?" I was like, "Yes, thank you, Hank."
When he was like, "Let me see the coin. Let me see the coin," and I was like, "Oh yeah, he's definitely screwed now." I thought it was a great segment. I thought it was perfect. It was so very MJF, but I love the kind of heel, and Ric Flair was like this, and MJF is doing this, where the bigger the cheat, the worse they are at it. Does that make sense? MJF is almost playing it like Brain from Pinky and the Brain. I've got these grand ideas, and the smaller ones, little eye pokes, little, whatever.
Those
always work. But the second he's ooh, but what if I try this? And he just falls on his face. But, he's just kind of playing it a little like a human cartoon character in a way. It to me, it's a little Daffy Duckish the way he got caught, and he was just like, oh, he was like, this is ridiculous. I shouldn't have to give you the coin. And it just scrambling and trying to get out of, I mean, it's been so enjoyable watching this run of his.
But I want to talk about what the purpose of the segment was. Segment was great, but the purpose of it was, which was to determine the stipulation, and Hangman's fate. He did the Cody Rhodes. Yeah. He said, if I lose this match, I am never going to challenge for the men's world championship ever again. And I don't know how I feel about this, because I didn't like it when Cody did it. And
that's what I said last week.
And I don't really like it now. But I think that, and I want to think that, given all that we've seen from AEW in the past couple of years, that they would have learned from that, because famously, that whole instance, I'll never forget, because I was there at the time, was because, there was this idea that they didn't want to, Cody was obviously really popular, but I think there was a fear that they were going to, if they put the titles on themselves or something like that, so soon,
right,
that, people are going to be like, of course you did, Triple H, of course you did. And that was kind of the worry that I was getting from everyone there. And then when they did it, I was like, yeah, but you just kneecapped him. You literally just kneecapped your biggest star. And at that point, and it just felt so it removed Cody from the title picture immediately. All those great segments. Oh, but the Dippin' Dots, all those moments that you had in that build up to that matchup.
Mhm.
Well, it just didn't matter because Cody was just gone from the title picture. And
Right.
yes, there was a story reason, and MJF screwed him over and all that stuff. So MJF is kind of like the common denominator in these situations.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering, does he try to do the same thing again? Does he try to find a way to cheat, obviously, to get Hangman to lose this match because he needs Hangman to lose this match? Matt, how would you do this if you were booking this in this situation? How would you plan this? Because surely you don't want to put Hangman's character in that kind of a position, but you also don't want to take the belt off of MJF right now, or do you? What do you think?
I think we had this discussion. There's a lot of back and forth. I think ultimately, Hangman goes over. It doesn't feel maybe like the perfect timing of it all, but given the stipulation, I think they're playing on everything you just said. I think that's the idea here. We're going to play on this fear because we knew there was a little bit of backlash when Cody did that. Oh no, they're doing it again. Oh God, is this? We're just going to see, like you said, we're going to see Hangman kneecapped because it does feel
Yeah.
too soon. It like to any smart people, fans who are really in on this stuff. It's like it does feel too soon. They're really going to do this, really, and they again they didn't say like I will not challenge as long as for the rest of the year or blah blah. He said as long
For the
as
rest
he
of your
lives.
reign. Yeah.
Yeah, he said as
Yeah.
long as he lives. So that it's like weird because like that telegraphs it that like, well, yeah, then he's gonna win, but then you think, oh, they're gonna do the Cody again, and he's not, and he'll just be maybe he'll be
Yeah.
Mr. International Champion for the rest of his
Yeah.
AEW career, right? I think they're playing off that fear and worry, and I think you put Hangman over.
Well, there's another thing, Jake, that's looming over this, right?
Mm.
And I didn't get a chance to listen fully last week, so I want to get your thoughts on this. And it's the swerve of it all.
Mhm.
Swerve Strickland is starting on this path of anger and redemption, and he wants his belt back. In his way is Kenny Omega. So what does he do? He throws him through a table with a freaking, what was that? A vertebrae? No, not
Vertebraker.
It was a vertebraker, yeah. And that's big. Kind of takes Kenny away from TV for a little while, maybe, or whatever we do with that. We'll see what comes from it. And you can revisit this Hangman Swerve situation because Hangman hasn't really been involved in this, and we know that Kenny and Hangman are friends. And there was this buddy moment in the ring, and you could see Swerve just being like, "Whoa, what is going on here? I don't like this. I don't like how cute you guys are being with each other." And then, of course, you have MJF, who certainly is going to find a way to kind of, keep himself within his own title picture here. I mean, I would have to imagine. So I guess my question to you, Jake, is if Hangman were to win, does that make sense because of what's going on with Swerve, or should those two things be separate right now and stay separate?
I think they should stay separate. I mean, I feel like to basically, redo the exact same storyline with the roles swapped this quickly feels a little narratively lazy to
But it
me.
hasn't been quick, though, has it? I mean, the last time they fought was all out last year. I want to
Yeah,
say.
but last year, that's what I'm saying. To do like,
I guess so, yeah.
like what if you watched a season of a television show and the next season you watched it and you're like, wait a minute, they just did the same story from season one, but they just swapped.
Yeah.
Wait, well, I mean, to be fair, wasn't it? It was All Out 24,
Was it 24?
right?
It might have been.
I don't.
It might have been.
Is either
I'll
like,
check.
Well, the last time
while
they fought, sure, but I'm talking about this redemption thing with Hangman.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know. I feel like we're not far enough removed from that happening.
It's been about a year from that, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing here lights out steel cage match. This was a year ago.
So 24.
24, all out 24.
So a year and a half
Right.
ago.
A year and a half ago. So you do have some distance from that till now, but I get what you're saying though. It's like you don't need to necessarily revisit that. But
They're
given
Batman
that
and Joker, man.
Because also,
Yeah.
well, sure, but then why have him lose it in the first place to MJF? Why not just have him keep it and then Swerve? I mean, I don't know.
that being said, does Swerve screw over Hangman? You know,
And
because
that's
like
an interesting thought that Swerve could screw
Right?
over Hangman.
'Cause
So then
that would be a
Hangman can
fun
never.
wrinkle.
That would be a fun wrinkle. But again,
Because now
like
it's like Hangman's
just-
abroad from the title.
you just write you write yourself into a corner with the stipulation. Like
Yeah.
that's the problem. You're not just kneecapping Hangman, you're kneecapping your creative for who knows how long until down the road when you finally decide that you want to not have
Change
that be a thing anymore. Yeah, and you're like, oh well, now we got to come up with some convoluted reason or some convoluted answer as to why.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can always retcon it. You know
Right.
what I mean? I hate it when they do, and the corner they painted themselves into with that, like, because you could always have an authority figure or somebody be like, that was an unfair stipulation. I strike it from thy record, good sir.
but even then, Hangman's the one who suggested it.
I know.
So that's why.
That's the worst
You know what I mean?
part.
Yeah.
He's the one. It's not like it was
Yes.
thrust upon him.
Right.
Yeah.
He offered it, which
Mhm.
this is why I'm like, there's no other option than just letting Hangman win, which is why there's a part of me who thinks, but I don't know how you tie this bow off. Swerve screws MJF because Swerve wants to take it from wants to take the world
take it from
title from
Hangman.
Hangman. I want to take the most important thing from you.
You know what? I actually wouldn't hate
Potentially.
the idea of Hangman winning, and then the next show Swerve wins, and because
But
we
consider
haven't
this. Are we even?
we
sure?
haven't hopscotched the title like at all in AEW
Sure.
all that
Yeah.
much. So it would,
Right.
and you have guys who could legitimately all make claims to being world champion right now. So
Sure.
like
Mhm.
you got good routes to go. Jake, what were you going to say? Sorry.
Well, I was just saying, are we even 100% sure that Swerve is necessarily going the heel route, or is he just being heel-ish?
I still think, I know a lot of people after his promo were like, oh, he's going here. But I thought it was still like,
Because
he's
he
made
made the exact point.
sense.
Yeah, but he made the exact point that we made last week, which was, I know what it took to get to the top of the mountain. So, like it or
Just
not,
doing it.
that's what I got to do to get back.
Which is what he did, right?
Yeah.
When
Right.
he fought Samoa Joe, when he put himself through hell in order to win that belt. When he beat Bryan, right? No, sorry, he beat Joe for the belt. He
Yeah.
beat Joe for the belt. Yeah.
Yep.
And he
Yeah.
so like put himself through hell to get to Dynasty, to get to that point, so he could win that belt. And I remember that being a very bloody and violent feud because I remember he
Yeah.
got busted open, and that was when he was like laughing and he's like, "You're gonna have to kill me," you know, and it was like that was awesome. So
Mhm.
yes, but it's the fact that he did it against Kenny. That's it. He did it to the most beloved wrestler outside of Hangman Adam Page in the whole company. I would say Kenny is the most beloved wrestler in the entirety of the company. So for that to have been a thing, it does scream heelish, Matt. It screams heelish. I don't know.
I completely disagree.
Really? Okay. All right. I like this.
Because I think heelish, like true, like black and white heelish, is truly, well, I mean, like, I think a lot of it, especially at the beginning, has to do with intention. And his intention is not like, I'm gonna mess up your world, Hangman and Kenny Omega. But
You were just a victim. You were
this
just
could,
road.
this could
You were in the
continue to
way.
lead down this. Yeah, it's like, look, Kenny's like, you guys are all, I took him out of the picture. Like, I don't hate him. I don't hate Kenny Omega. But he wasn't.
But I also don't want to have to fight him again.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
saying, so I'm turning it up a notch. I'm so sorry you guys don't like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's Steve Austin.
Yeah.
He also
turning
realized
into
he couldn't
11.
beat him.
He's Peacemaker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I will kill whoever I have
I want
to
peace, and I
preserve
will kill
peace.
whoever
You
I
know?
have to get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, Pete Hagstaff. But I will say, like, but he couldn't beat Kenny. He couldn't beat Kenny. Kenny
Yeah.
kept kicking out.
Yeah.
Kenny kept he had to pull shenanigans in order to beat Kenny Omega.
And so he pulled shenanigans. He did everything he had to do. He couldn't get it done the way that he wanted to get it done. So he got it done the way he knew to get. He knew.
And I think, I mean, it's the point I guess I make it to what you said, GB, is that like it's not like this is the kind of heel turn or heel transition, even if it does go that, which it probably will. That I like. It's not, hey, hey, Hangman, we're hanging out, or Kenny, how's it going, bro? Low blow. Ha! I fooled all of you for the last 3.
I did it in the ring.
No,
I did it in a match.
He's growing. He's like, yeah, all right, I'm doing this. I know you aren't gonna like it, maybe, but I swear I'm just doing what I gotta do. And then maybe it feeds off of it, and he starts doing it more because it's effective. And then he really does turn into the low down piece of dirt kind of heel that he grows into. But this is the kind of transition I like.
The other thing to consider too is just because you don't like it doesn't make what he's doing bad.
Well, cheating is kind of,
you know what I mean?
bad.
No, but I'm saying
a little bit.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying from his perspective, that may be how he feels about it. Of like, just because you don't like
from any heel's perspective, that's
right.
Yeah.
Right. But he can also just be like, like, I don't know. I like that idea of him being like, you may not like the method. That doesn't make me a bad person.
Yeah.
I'm just doing, are we here to
I'm doing
win?
it for me.
Are we here to win, or are we here not to win? Like, I'm confused. It's just not a competition.
I agree. I agree with all you guys. Like, I like, Matt, what you're saying. I like that this is happening the way it's happening. But Jake, I also like the fact that he can just have some plausible deniability and just continue to be like, no, I'm doing what I think is right for me to reach the top of the mountain again because it's my house and I'm the most dangerous man in AEW.
And how can I be a bad guy if I'm telling you what I'm going to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling you what I'm going to do. Yeah. And you're getting mad at me like yeah, I want him to keep doing it too because I think it's great.
Keep saying what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it, and when it happens and you're mad, be like, "But I told you because I want this belt."
Yeah, has no one been paying attention to anything I've been saying?
Yeah. Excellent stuff. It's the AEW main event scene we've been saying week in, week out is incredibly healthy, and it's very exciting. But there's also another story. We'll touch on this real fast before we dive into WWE, and that was the Proto Okada getting together, teaming up. I didn't get a chance to watch the match, so I didn't get to see all what happened. But it does feel like, once again, this is the thing that I was talking about with, all these guys have gold except for Takeshita, and they're going to start like singling him out. And it really is going to boil down to, does Kyle Fletcher stick with the guy he's been rolling with from the beginning? Or does he start to align himself with the legendary Kazuchika Okada? Because it is Okada, and you'd be an idiot to go against Okada. Matt, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting, but I didn't get to see it. So what was, I don't know if you had a chance to watch or see what happened, but anyone really, what was the deal with this?
It's Don Callis Family shenanigans, consolidating attempts to consolidate power. I imagine they will. I'm trying to decide if do I think they're going to take this all the way to the point you just made, to like the tag team titles, and then Takeshita is the lonely stepchild, and then he kicks Okada in the damn teeth and goes after his single, costs him the tag titles, goes after his international
title.
Yeah, things like does it break down that way? but there's still a lot of things going on in the tag division with, the Bucks and FTR, and now the Rascals are kind of in
I
there
think
too.
because you have Fletcher
But-
holding the TNT and Okada holding the international, I don't think you need to do the tag title thing.
Yeah.
Because I think the story can just stay between those three.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Who's the ace of the Don Callis family? Who's the person? Because like the way I kind of see this playing out, or not see it playing out, but I would like to see it play out, is that you end up in a situation where, you have like, I think Takeshita's going to fail to capture the Continental Championship from Mox.
Yeah.
And Mox is going to drop that belt somewhere else. Someone else in the Don Callis family is going to get him. I don't think it's going to be Takeshita. And because of that, and look, realistically, like, there's also a world where someone might cause a problem in that Continental Championship matchup. Like maybe leaving an item in there that they're not supposed to leave, like what happened in the tournament, something to that effect. I don't know. But what I just think could happen is that you have like Takeshita being like, okay, you guys don't want to support me anymore, then screw you, I'm gone, right? Tries to go after Okada's title. And then maybe like Fletcher starts asking, well, who is the ace of the Don Callis family? Is it me? Is it Okada? Like, you already threw Takeshita to the curb, right? And I want to see that kind of formulate over time. Sorry, I rambled a little bit there. Matt, what do you think?
No, I think that's true to the point about like, I don't think you need to involve the tag titles necessarily. I don't think I see the like Fletcher Okada like bubbling split that like you're seeing down. I'm solely focused on Takeshita.
Yeah.
I think Fletcher and Okada are going to firmly stay Don Callis family guy. I don't think there's going to be any heat tension there for a long time if there is going to be. I think they're both going to stay heels. I don't think there's anybody's going to be changing. I think the smart move is to position Takeshita to be in conflict with them in some way. But with a character like Takeshita, I don't think you can't really play it can't be like jealousy, because that's not an attractive, an appealing thing. So they have to big brother him or bully him kind of thing. I'm my gut would say like something happens and they would cost him the Continental title, but there can't be anybody out there. So like that does take a little bit of that leg from you. You have to get really creative. Like to your point, like is there a world where like backstage they try to tell like, hey, like hammer for you or whatever. There's always we can always give you a hammer, if you know what I mean, in the upper left side of your life on the third buckle of your bedroom. Do you know? And then like, not that freaking stupid, but because I'm trying to, because I don't want him to lose clean.
Yeah.
But it's tough because Mox is like a kind of clean cut babyface fighting champion now. Takeshi's pretty much a babyface. So how do you like, because if he loses, then it's like, yeah, dude, you're not as good as Okada. You're not as good as Fletcher. They have titles. You just keep losing. So like he needs a little bit of plausible deniability, whether it's like I said, he bumps into a hiding spot, a gimmick falls out, and he's like, what the? They tried to load this thing, and just that distraction, or like, God, he throws it out of the ring, and that's enough to bang.
Maybe.
Something like that, where it's like
mass distraction.
Yeah, but it's like inadvertent, or like, but it's tied back to Don Callis and those guys and everything like that. So I'm very curious how Revolution's going to play out.
Yeah, same. Jake, your thoughts as well. Do you think that Moxley drops the title at Revolution to Takeshita?
I don't know. I mean, one thing that I think would be kind of interesting is you talked about like Fletcher asking like, well, who's the ace of the Don Callis family? I don't think Fletcher would question that. I think he just believes that he is.
Yeah, probably.
And I think Okada would feel that way too. What would be interesting if Takeshita was like, hey, So between you two, who's the ace? And just kind of
like,
let them
yeah.
And they
kind
both
of
go, I am.
exactly.
At the same time.
Yes. And then that kind
Yeah.
of plants a little seed of,
Yeah.
plants a little something between them, perhaps. I think could possibly be interesting. And he just kind of lets them fall apart on their own, perhaps. But
Yeah.
I mean, as far as Mox losing the title, I mean, he's
having a good run.
he is having a good run, and I think, and he's been showcasing a lot of different people on the roster lately. I think story wise, it does make more sense for Mox to keep the title because I think it makes things more interesting for Takeshita and the Don Callis family.
Yeah.
So that's honestly what I think I'd probably go that direction.
I am curious where Mox goes from here as well, because he does seem to have, the Don Callis family does have the Death Riders in their crosshair. They are constantly fighting. I wouldn't be shocked if we end up with a, stadium, oh my God.
Anarchy in the Arena.
Yeah, Anarchy in the Arena. Or something to that effect. Blood and Guts, maybe. Are we ready for a Blood and Guts? Is that around did we already do one? I don't know. I don't remember.
The last ones were in the fall, right around Survivor
fall, right?
Series.
Okay. So maybe we are set for another Anarchy in the Arena. It could be the Death Riders versus the Don Callis family down the line.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I'd like to see, another member of the Don Callis family, maybe a Josh Alexander, perhaps, take the title off of Moxley, and then it ends up being, Fletcher, Don's favorite, Okada, Don's, big get, and Josh Alexander, this surprising, person who rolls up with the Continental title, and it's like, oh, Takeshi, you have no place here anymore. That could also be compelling, but I don't know if they'll do that. But
I had almost the exact same idea. I almost say the exact same idea, and like maybe Josh does, even though again it's Continental, but they newfangle some way to leave a gimmick and kind of pseudo cheat, right? Still a big heel group, and so now there's 3 of those Don Callis guys with singles gold. Riddle me this: is there a world? How confident in Takeshita are we as like another potential face of the company? Pretty confident. And Okada was one of those kind of belt collector guys. Is there a world where like somebody takes the Continental title and then Takeshita goes through all 3 and collects the TNT, the Continental, and the International, even for a short period, and at the end of All In, it's just like, I have all the titles. And then he peels 1 or 2 of them off in the next like 3 months
then we combine them all again, only to then break them apart a couple of weeks later.
Well, I was going to say
the
unified gimmick. I don't know if that's gone, but I will say that what? Scan, throw up the graphic if you have it. If you have the fantasy booking graphic, see if you can play it. If not, perfectly fine. Okay, he said he will in post. So in post, it's going to say fantasy booking. All right. I just thought about this. Unified title, it's been gone. We are in a position. I convinced myself that Takeshita wasn't going to win the Continental Championship. But honestly, he could. And it could end up into a triple-threat unification match. All 3 belts for the unified title. Just combine them all together. Because it does feel like right now, the international, first things first, any belt that Okada holds has a tendency to just not do anything. So the international title is useless right now.
That is true.
And I don't want to disparage the belt because it does have actual history, but it's kind of just doing nothing. The Continental Championship has clearly seen a lot of action lately. Yep. I think you're probably going to keep that belt separate. You kind of have to because of the classic and the rules that are centered around that title. But, with the recent situation with Paramount purchasing, Warner Brothers, or if that goes through, maybe they could be thinking down the line, like we might need to not have the TNT title anymore because we might be changing networks. It could change. I don't know. It could be a TV title. You could rebrand it as a TV title, and I think you're fine.
Yeah.
But you also have the national championship that's been making a lot of rounds because of Ricochet's incredible work in the independents. I've been really loving all he's been doing out there. So I don't know. I think you could go into a world where you unify and maybe, make the TNT title defunct. And you just kind of like move forward from there. And you do that with a badass triple threat unification match at All Out, All In, whatever
like
the
that,
case may be. Even though you did a unification match already at All In, I wouldn't do it again at All In, personally, because you already did it. I would let it kind of be its own thing on its own at another show. So maybe like a Full Gear or All Out or something like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that could happen, or is that just too much overbooking?
It could. I think it could. I still truly, we're getting, in my book, to Okada and Takeshita kind of alone. Like, you could fold the Fletcher stuff into it, and maybe they will, but I'm still, my gut is telling me it's staying focused. The ultimate, whatever this ultimately leads to, is Okada and Takeshita.
Yeah. I do also believe, though, that like Okada's going to win the world championship down the line. And we gotta get one of these belts off of him eventually. so he could pursue that. Man, but it does again go back to the fact that they just have they're like, what is the phrase? Bountiful riches or whatever. Like they just have a lot. Almost now it's like I think maybe too much. But of course we'll see how that plays out. AEW continues to be exciting. Revolution is around the corner. So we're looking forward to that one. It's going to be here in LA. Hopefully me and Jake are going to be able to go. Did submit for media for AEW, but I haven't heard an email back. So we got to be bigger, guys. So you got to let your friends know about this show. Okay, subscribe if you're enjoying these types of conversations. Subscribe to Rebook. You can go ahead and check us out as well at www.rebookpod.com or at Rebook, as you see down there. Follow across all of our social media platforms. Let AEW know that Rebook needs to be there because we're pretty good at talking about the wrestling stuff. WWE now. Oh man, what a mixed bag this has been. It's been good. It's been bad. It's been weird. It's been very evil. I'm liking a lot of aspects to it. We'll start first with the Intercontinental Championship because it ties to something that we knew was coming, and it's here, and I like it because I liked it in AEW, and I'm still gonna like it here. Danhausen's in WWE. What a sentence to say out loud. Not the most engaging debut, Jake. I think that there was a good argument that someone had where it's like, they should have done that on Monday Night Raw. They should have done the reveal on Monday Night Raw, maybe not on a pay-per-view. It felt a touch bizarre for the already limited space that they have with these shows, that maybe it would have fit better on the Raw after that. But what did you think of Danhausen's debut and also his impact already in the roster?
Well, I thought when I watched it, I was kind of in the boat that you're talking about of like, why did we do this at Elimination Chamber? But the more and more I thought about it, this was the perfect introduction to Danhausen. Because we're asking the question, what was the point? And that's Danhausen. That's so perfectly Danhausen, where everybody was like, it just was like I actually wrote a recap article for Tops Ripped that came out today as we're recording this, about recapping Elimination Chamber, and I described it as a fever dream of a debut. And that's
amazing.
And that's very much what it was. And so for that reason, the more I thought about it, I was like, nah, that's perfect for Danhausen. That was what it needed to be.
Also, just like the dancers, the dance thing,
it made
was
no
really
sense.
good.
it just was, and he, as a first-time guest into a home does, he brought a gift. No, it wasn't a bottle of wine. It wasn't a nice picture frame or some sort of locally sourced jams. No, it was a jar of teeth. And like, it just was, it was great. It was, the more I think about it, the more I like it.
I'm going to be honest here. So Scan was saying
and
that
one of
the
his
dance was
dancers
choreographed by his wife.
I think the one on the right there, I think is his wife.
Yeah,
but
she's
That's
a
amazing.
rather well-known burlesque dancer from Canada. My wife has worked with her. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
I think she put it together with people. Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
that's amazing. That's so cool. What great added context for that as well. It just makes it even that much better.
But his theme is very Saturday morning cartoon, and I love it.
Mhm.
And then he comes on Monday Night Raw. He makes several Danhausens, one of which has already been met. Triple H posted a picture of him pointing at him today.
Yeah.
And so that's already been fulfilled. Probably it was fulfilled with haste after it was revealed what power Danhausen wields over the WWE universe, because he cursed Dominic Mysterio. And as soon as it happened, I was like, Dominic Mysterio is going to lose the title tonight.
Yeah.
I was like, he has to lose the title tonight after being cursed. And
I love how subtle it was, because in the older in AEW, right, the way that they would do it, it was a big buildup. It was always a big buildup, right? And because everyone knew that when you got cursed, bad things happened. So they were able to go, curse, right? This was brilliant. He just goes,
yeah. Oh, okay. You're cursed. Yeah.
You're cursed.
It's like,
and that was it. And it's like, oh, crap, that's insane. And it leads to this.
And then he disappears like Batman.
Epic moment, man. Penta's a freaking champion in WWE. I can't believe it. I'm so happy.
Dom has a case that he can make for outside interference.
He totally can. He totally can.
He should get
He should get a rematch due to outside interference from Danhausen.
You unfortunately, you just can't control that kind of interference. That was wild. So
I'm thrilled for Penta. Like,
and I
so
think it was
glad
high time
that he got
for him
the title
to win this belt. He's been chasing it for a while, and I think it's good time for Dominic to drop the title. There's nothing wrong with that. I thought he's had a brilliant run with this belt. It was good. He's still the AAA Mega Campeón, so like he still has that title under his belt. I guess, Matt, how do you feel about the way that this played out? Because the only criticism that I do slight criticism, it's not that it makes Penta look bad. I want to be clear here, but it does. It's like, oh, he needed to be cursed in order for Penta to win the title. But I like the fact that it doesn't matter to me. But what do you think? What are your thoughts and opinion?
So when I initially saw it, I was actually a little upset because my thought was, I get in my head was loaded in on, we're getting Finn and Dom for the IC title at Mania. So I was like, oh, now we're just dropping it here a month before the biggest show of the year, when you could have done this on the. So at first I was like, oh, it kind of brings that down. Good thing for Penta. That's awesome. But why? I don't know. It felt weird. But after thinking about it, I think it works really well, because I think it's like Finn just came off wrestling for the world title again finally, and I feel like people were probably happy to see him there. Dom has, with this run and with the last year and a half, has established himself as a really top talent. Doesn't need the title anymore.
Yeah.
At Mania without the belt. And
We lost you there for a second there, I think.
Yeah.
But
I didn't
yeah,
hear
yeah.
anything change. Okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
But yeah, so they can still have their Mania match, grudge match, you know what I mean? The disintegration of their, Judgment Day Brotherhood without the title, and it'll be great. And then now you open up a potential match on the card. We don't have a ton of time, so maybe a scramble, a four-way with some of the people who we don't see factored in, some of the contenders on the rosters who were like, hey, aren't factored into Mania. And it would be a great defense for Penta, get him a big highlight on the biggest show. So I think, like I said, at first didn't love it. I think the curse thing is more of a ha-ha. So Penta will win a few matches, and I don't think anybody will be looking at an asterisk on his win.
Yeah. I will say, though, there is one other belt that Dom has that I mentioned, which was the AAA Mega
they
Campeon.
could do that.
And Finn is very popular in Mexico.
Yeah.
I watched those shows and they love him. And I could see a world where he goes, hey, man, you don't even defend this belt. And this belt is like cherished history, like it would be kind of cool because I think like it's been great seeing the belt on WWE TV, but I don't think people understand the belt or the history of the belt. And it would be kind of cool to maybe tie that into a WrestleMania match where it's Finn versus Dom for the AAA title. And Finn wins it because it's like, hey, I want to take this to Mexico and actually like defend it and do stuff over there and like make this awesome. I don't know. I like that idea, but I can also just see them just continuing to use the belt as a prop. And
no, so like I'm of two minds of that because there's one. I mean, you also to that point you make history with the first time the AAA or
that's what I'm saying.
Maybe the first time a world title from another company is defended on WrestleMania ever.
You should have a AAA wrestler in there, if I'm being completely honest with you.
So my thing is, I have a little bit of like, this is a purist wrestler thing in me. I get the cross-branded. We did it with TNA and NXT and stuff. But like, if it had ever gone from if the TNA title ever went from Trick Williams to Miles Bourne and then back to like, there's a weird thing. I'm like, I feel like you should always, when you change it, it should be between the brands. It should never go away from its home brand and change hands. That's a weird little like purist wrestler.
Oh, I get it. I'm with you. My thought exactly.
That said, your story, especially like because Dom's been a heel, he hasn't like highlighted it a lot. He just carries it kind of on WWE TV. Whereas Finn as a babyface can really highlight it and the respect and the history. So you can
do title defenses on Monday Night Raw, just like the way that Claudio Castagnoli's been defending the CMLL World Heavyweight Championship on AEW TV. So Jake, I don't hate this idea, but where are you at with Finn and Dom in this story now that Dom's lost the IC title?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, that is one thing that, like Matt said, I'd expected them to possibly have a match for the IC title at Mania. As far as Finn becoming the AAA champion and defending it on Raw, I don't know that WWE fans are really gonna care that much.
Possibly,
maybe,
unfortunately.
The belt on the man makes the title, and we saw how it happened with Gunther. We saw how it's happening right now with Carmelo Hayes. Like, yes, I agree, but you have like a great opportunity here. You bought this company.
Sure.
So
I don't disagree with that part of it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think we're just gonna continue to see Finn outgrow the Judgment Day. Like that's all it really seems like he's doing. And I don't know if it always, especially now that title's out of the picture, I don't ever know if it always needs a big, like he could just kind of drift apart from him, or
and they could just have a match.
Yeah.
Like they could just have a match, fight each other.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where they're going with Finn in general, honestly, because I've liked the change in his attitude, and I've liked how it's kind of it's been happening steadily and consistently.
Yeah,
He's been showing growth as a character. But now that he's had his match with Punk, which was a great match,
of
but
course.
again, it was just another one that you're like,
You knew.
it's not happening. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that
You know.
that's the thing. That's the thing that's such a bummer with every title match between WrestleMania
Rumble
and
and-
Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is they just don't ever feel like they're gonna happen. And it was the same case with this one. It was a fun match. It was really good. I mean, as you would expect from CM Punk and Finn. But it just and now with Dom losing the IC title, I think it does leave Finn pretty directionless right now. And I don't know where
Interesting.
I don't know
You
I don't
know,
know where it goes now.
I had one random thought and we'll move on. I wouldn't hate the idea of, let's say, JD and Dom start attacking Finn because Finn cost Dom the IC title in Dom's mind. Obviously, Danhausen's probably going to play a factor in this. I wouldn't mind a world where Danhausen teams up with Finn
Danhausen-
Balor to take on the Judgment Day.
The demon and the demon.
The demon and the demon.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Yes.
I
Demon
actually
duo.
think that they both can come out with the face paint. They both and
Uh-huh.
Finn will really ham it up. So
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
That'd be a great match in AAA.
That would be.
Exactly. You want to get Danhausen more involved in the picture. And,
Mhm.
Danhausen, I remember him to be a pretty decent wrestler. So, like,
Okay.
he's not there to wrestle. I don't think he's there to wrestle major matches. But I do see a world where maybe Finn's like, hey, maybe this guy who with the superpower can actually help me out to win this match. I don't know.
I will say that it could be fun post Mania. I hate it going into Mania. I want a personal one-on-one grudge feud with Finn and Dom. I think that's
Yeah.
so much more intriguing than wackadoo wacky tag teams going at
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so much history there, and if they're gonna break up and explode out of this Judgment, we need that like blood
Payoff.
feud
Yeah.
kind of match.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
No problem.
I think Danhausen. I know. I'm raining on everyone's cursed parade, but I think he floats off with off to curse another day.
Yeah, maybe he just continues to be like a.
I think he's
Like
going to
an
interact with
enigma.
like a.
He's just an
bunch
agent of
different
chaos.
people.
That's
Yeah,
all.
And maybe
Danhausen-
causes a lot of problems, for like a lot of people. And then
Sure.
everyone's like, no, we need to fix this, like put him back in the coffin,
Yeah.
like something like that could be quite fun. And yeah, I think that could be a fun. Scan had a good note here. Danhausen's going to interact with every wrestler that uses face paint. That could actually be a very, very funny trope. All right, moving on, because we've been on this for a minute. I don't want to spend too much time on it because I'll be honest with you, I don't even know if WWE put that much time into it. Elimination Chambers winner was Randy Orton, and it happened in a very convoluted way. I didn't watch it because I was doing a lot of stuff, but my buddy Wyatt, who watches all the shows, was explaining to me. He basically was like saying this match was one of those what were they thinking type of matches where Logan Paul pins 3 wrestlers, pins both of the upstarts, pinned Javon and pinned Trick, right? I believe. And then, but the thing is, you start the match up, pump that Trick, pump that Trick. That was it, guys. We talked about it last week. That man's a star. That man should have won the match. I think Trick Williams should have won the match. I think it was like just, if it just fit so much better, it would have been cool to see this like upstart win it versus the veteran and Drew. I understand there was other history there. Anything would have been, I don't know. I saw the results and I'm like, oh, Randy Orton won. But then I saw the way it happened and I'm like, oh, that's weird. I don't know if I like that. Jake, what did you make of Elimination Chamber? Because I saw your hands in your face.
This could have been an email. Like that's
Really?
kind of how
That much?
Elimination Chamber. The whole event felt that way to me.
A little like
it felt a
Rhea
little
won.
like this could have been a Raw. That's the wrestling equivalent of this could have been an email. This could have been a Raw. Like that's how it was to me. Like, what is the point of locking people inside if there's just a queue of other wrestlers waiting outside of it to be let in the moment that the damn door gets opened? What are we doing? Yeah. What is the point of the cage if people are just walking in at any fucking time?
Multiple. I mean, it's one thing. Somebody pointed out like an interference in the cage that I actually liked goes back to Shawn Michaels with Taker before Shawn's retirement match, right? He had to get it. He burrowed under the cage, popped a floorboard out to get in and super kick Taker. Here, they opened the door. They just left it open for like 6 minutes. Seth came through. A mask guy came through. Drew came through. All the referees are like sitting in the aisleway, like, well, wow, look at all this going around. And I'm like, that was the part of literally.
What WWE needs to do is get TSA to run the security outside of the cage. Just get some guys from TSA, get some woman who's like, I ain't got time for your shit today, Drew McIntyre. I don't care.
Never
put your belt
anything.
Put your belt on the conveyor belt. We're gonna scan it, and then maybe you can go through. Like that's what checking for liquids. That's all we need. So, but like, the whole event just was. I mean, the whole thing felt so middle of the road and safe.
Yeah.
It felt so middle of the road, which is exactly what we talked about last week. We called all of this.
Pretty much all of it.
We called all of it, even down to it being Danhausen in the freaking coffin.
Yeah.
Like we knew it was going to probably be Randy.
Yep.
Because we felt like Cody was a misdirect, and it turns out we were right.
Yeah.
We knew that Rhea was going to win it because they can't resist having the two muscle mommies at Mania.
Which
Punk winning was not a surprise. AJ winning was not a surprise. Like none of this was surprising. Yeah. And just the way everything happened was just so milquetoast to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, there's milk toast, which is down here, and milk steak, which is up here. This was milk toast. You know?
Yeah, Randy won, and he's going to be facing Drew McIntyre, right? I think that.
Well, so here's where the wrinkle comes in.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's where it felt like.
What?
So last week, by the way, so we thought it would be Randy given the players because I'm like, it's safe. Like you said, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre. That's a great headline for TKO to put on WrestleMania. That's why it felt like it, and it did. However, we've also been pretty stalwart about but we have to tie off this Cody, Jacob, Drew thread. We have not tied this off yet. So, for those that missed it, Nick Aldis did at the post show, I believe, for Chamber. Was all flustered and pissed off about Drew's interference because Drew hit Cody with the belt and made for this Friday Drew versus Cody for the title. So I don't see Drew losing, but I see it all blowing up. And as if you've been in our Discord, which you should be, where I was always pretty convinced we were going to maybe get Drew, Jacob, Cody at Mania.
Yep.
Now I think this is all going to blow up with Randy Orton tied in to it 4-way.
Yeah.
Does that diminish the Elimination Chamber win?
Yes.
Or does it even matter anymore?
But does it matter? Like it does, but I think it would be a better situation. There's some theories out there. Does Cody win on Friday, and then we get a Randy Cody WrestleMania? You know, generations, former stablemates, lot of history there. But
how does Jacob Fatu fit in?
Yeah, And then
Yeah.
Drew is not just going to be sitting there pouting for 3 weeks until Mania. Like, what is it? Him and Jacob then in a street fight or some bullshit? I don't know.
Yeah, and I do like the idea of Cody denying Drew his like hero's welcome at Mania, but I don't want that because I want Drew to have his hero's moment where he comes out with the title at WrestleMania. So I'm okay if we just keep the belt on Drew, but we get other players involved. And honestly, I'd like to see a world where Randy Orton is just like really pissed because he's like, what the hell did I do this for?
Yeah.
You know, like that could also be another thing. Like well, this kind of takes it to the last topic that we're going to discuss here, which of course is Roman Reigns and CM Punk. And the reason why I'm tying these two things is because one of the words you guys said describing Elimination Chamber was milk toast. You said it was bog standard milk toast, very predictable show. And now after Monday Night Raw, I wonder if they got that memo internally, because I gotta say, this escalation from Punk and Roman felt weird. I was telling this to my friend Wyatt. We were talking about it. He liked it. He liked Punk saying that he was going to bury Roman. But him saying that I'm going to bury you next to your dad just was like
so needlessly escalated. It was needlessly hurtful, which he has not been to anybody until this point. It was such a bizarre.
Yeah. Did you like it, or what did you think? Am I alone in this feeling?
No, especially because there's nothing tied in with Roman's dad. You know, it was again part of the legendary Anoa'i family, but has no tie whatsoever. So, like, here's an example of like, if you want to go for like that family heat, I'll put us over. So, like, a big part of Mike Santana's story when he was going for it was winning it for his daughter, right? Kind of thing. She was at the shows. She was at Slammiversary. So he loosely, just like she was featured as part of his story, a part of that. So if a heel goes like, you're going to embarrass yourself in front of your daughter, like that's heat. That's like, we told that story. This is why he's doing it. Fuck you. I'm going to kill you. Roman's dad, like, has been passed for, you know, a little while now, has no, like, Punk has never had heat with the rest of the, like, Anoa'i fan. Like, it's just like a really weird dig from your baby face. It just felt like,
especially that there was already pre-built history between them.
Right.
Why would you need to?
It was so needlessly distasteful.
Yeah,
I would get it if he were a heel, but it just was so. It was so out of character for how he's been behaving.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it would have been. I still didn't. I thought the promo was okay. I'm kind of still bored with this feud, regardless. I think it's just a little. Again, it just feels safe. It's like, yeah, I know, two huge names. They've got some history. It's fine.
It's entrances and big moments. That's what the whole thing's going to be.
So this could have worked. It would have been fine. It would have been great, but it would have been fine. You could, if he just left it as Barry. If you wanted to like break the fourth wall and stuff like that, he could have been like. I thought he was going to linger on the term Barry, you know, in the backstage sense, you know, that the thing that people have always accused Roman of doing, of Cena doing, of Triple H doing, right? Holding people. Punk could have leaned into the like, I'm finally the guy I always wanted to be. I'm on top. I'm running this shit. I'm the man here. I'm walking into Mania as the champ. Yeah. I'll swing my dick around and I will bury you. I will hold everything you.
Or if you want to tie
that stuff,
personal aspect, he could have said, I'm going to bury you just like the way you buried all those who came before you as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could have leaned into the fact that it was like, LOL, Roman wins, you know, super reigns, right? Like, you could have leaned into that, but instead it was just like, hey, I'm going to talk shit about your dad. And then someone was like,
I expected a needle mover reference.
You know what this is? Because let's get a little bit lighter with this. What was the name of Steve Carell's character in Anchorman?
Oh, Brick Tamlin.
Brick Tamlin, yeah.
It was him, where it was like back and forth, like, or he's Andy on The Office. I'm gonna kill you with a chainsaw.
I am cutting off Dallas's head with a chainsaw.
Because think about it, it didn't even make sense. I'm gonna bury you next to your you're gonna murder me at WrestleMania,
Yeah.
and like, because his dad is actually like past. Like, it's a weird analogy. Whereas all the stuff we just said about if he would have used it in the like, I'm gonna bury your career and all this stuff. No, it was weirdly specific and like,
is it
pseudo
leading?
violent and like,
Is this going to become a buried alive match? Could that be why they're doing it? In which case, why?
What would be the purpose of that?
I don't know. What's the purpose of him saying what he said? I don't know that either.
I know. No, I'm not questioning you. I'm just saying.
I know.
Yeah. If they were to do that, you are just like. And then also too, I'm gonna be very honest. Like I am very. Oh man, that WWE subreddit is just the. They are not very bright over there. They do not. Someone was like, "Oh, he referenced Chris Jericho because he mentioned the list." What?
I don't.
What? How in your twisted little mind do you think that Chris Jericho would fit into this at all? At all? Who is asking for Chris Jericho to be involved in the main event of WrestleMania between CM Punk and Roman Reigns? I am sorry. That was the dumbest thing I ever heard. And then someone had mentioned, there was like another reference where they were like, oh, or maybe they're referencing this person or this thing. And I was just like, no, I think it was just a badly delivered and badly written promo that just didn't, I don't know. And then I'm seeing people being like, it was the best promo ever. Like CM Punk destroyed him. And I'm like, yeah, he destroyed him because he talked about burying him in front of his dad. Like, what? Am I losing my mind? I don't know. I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either. It was weird. It was weird.
It made me uncomfortable, not because
not
it's like,
not in like
how dare you? I'm so woke. Like, no, it's nothing to do with that. I'm just like, where the fuck did that come from? Honestly,
so
next week, and I don't want to speak ill of his name, but Roman should just drag Larry. Like that's probably just what should happen.
The memes have already started with
But then I'm left wondering, Jake, for what?
I don't know. I mean, we're also talking about the guy who made a joke about Paul Bearer dying when he was had his feud with Undertaker, and that was pretty fresh because he was going into that as a heel. But that's the thing. He was going into it as a heel.
Yeah. He was going into and at least, but again, Paul Bearer,
but it at least made sense.
The Undertaker, it was literally tied in there. Like
Paul Bearer was an on-screen character.
Roman's dad has nothing to do with anything of any history with CM Punk or any no tie to this at all.
Yeah. I don't know. It was so bizarre.
And the thing is you could have easily, to the point you said, it could have been the needle mover conversation. It could have been like, hey, since you became champion, this company's gone in the dirt. And I'm back to make sure that I lift it back to where it was before because this company was successful because of me. Like, you could have easily have done that. That's it. That's the story. That's the narrative.
Have they played into the Shield stuff yet? Like, you're welcome to bury you
just like the way you buried the Shield.
Or something like, you're welcome for your
They literally mentioned that.
Did they bring?
Yeah, on Raw. Okay, that was literally because he was like, this town that we're in carries significance between the two of us because this is where the Shield debuted.
Okay.
So, and he did. Yeah, he was like, you're welcome for your career and and all this stuff.
Yeah,
I mentioned his dad.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very odd.
But no,
I don't know.
Make a weird comment about Sika. I don't know. It's strange. Very strange.
And now, again, look, I'm sure that they had talked about it and they were like, oh, this is what we're going to do. But like the fact that no one raised a red flag internally to be like, how does this fit? This isn't going to move tickets. Like, I don't know.
It could be one of those silly things where like, I hate
but you don't think Punk signed off on that? You don't think
because
Punk
everyone's going, I know it's a little strange. It's a little weird angle to take, but everybody will be either loving it, hating it, or scratching their heads and tweeting about it.
I'm scratching my head and less interested in that match
but we are talking. It's the old, but you're
I get
talking
it.
about it. I know.
I get
but
it.
it's silly. It is silly.
No, I understand. I just
But
think like,
again,
man, there's so
from
many better
us,
things in WWE
yes.
for
And for
yeah.
us, we're focusing on characters and narrative. Made no sense for any narrative you're trying to write. So
Yes.
it's just out of place.
Yeah. Like we're not approaching this from the dirt sheet perspective. No, like what was the
Why?
narrative purpose of him mentioning his father at the end of this promo when there was already so much rich history between CM Punk and Roman Reigns, both behind the scenes and in front of the camera. It was just there, and we just went in an unnecessary direction. I hope that they just ignore it, pivot off of it, and just go in a different direction. I know they're probably not, but I don't know. It just doesn't make me compelled in the match in the slightest.
Yeah.
In the slightest. That being said, though, we want to know what you guys think. Sound off in the comments down below. A lot of people seem to like it. We're in a different mindset. I don't think it was, again, we're not arguing with the delivery, the way it was presented, because ultimately, like, both performers, I think, did a great job in the ring of, like, the dialogue and the back and
And I would
forth.
say
And Punk's always,
most of it was pretty decent, but
yeah,
just that
Punk's always good off the
weird-
cuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
weird ending.
It really was. But you saw the graphic just flash up there, which means it's time. Scan's telling us it's time for our Rebooked champion of 24/7 champion of the week. Oh my God. Oh, it's been a while since I've done that. This, of course, is the thing that brought us the most joy this week. I'm going to go first because mine is pretty fun, but I don't have it offhand. But there was a MJF has been the gift that keeps on giving. And his social media is genuinely hilarious. He basically has been talking about the ticket sales. And he said something along the lines of, AEW is a promotion that does care about the pores. He was like, unlike the other place.
He was asking about ticket prices. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he was like, AEW, we like to think of ourselves as like we still got to make money. You still got to come to the shows. So, we try and do our best for the pores or something like that. And I just thought that here's the line. Unlike WWE, you don't have to sell the soul of your firstborn to buy an AEW ticket. They're normal prices. We don't discriminate against pores the same way the world champion does. I hate you people, but somebody has to pay daddy's bills. I got a good kick out of that. The fact that he said he called them pores, it always cracks me up. MJF is the gift that keeps on giving. I just thought that was a funny joke. Made me laugh today. So that was mine. You guys have one? Who wants to go?
Yeah, go for it.
The boys are back, and I couldn't
Season
be
5?
more excited about it. Huh? No,
Season 5 is out?
no. The boys I'm talking about are doctors John Dorian and Christopher Turk.
Oh!
Scrubs is back.
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you, the first 2 episodes, which aired last week, they were good. They were really good. It felt like I'm really enjoying the direction they're taking. They were already already had tears in the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
It was very funny. I'm enjoying seeing the new role that everybody is going to be playing. It was good. It was just good to have a
sequel series.
It's yeah. And the best thing is they ignored season 9. So it picks up right after the original ending in season 8. But yeah, it was great. It was great to see all these old characters back. And I'm excited to see it moving forward, even with all the new characters that they brought in and the new stuff that they're going to do. I really got a good laugh out of it. Really put a smile on my face. That's my 24/7 champion of the week.
Awesome.
Scrubs.
Nice.
I'm gonna piggyback off it because Scrubs is one of my favorite shows of all time. It's an oddball of a little show. And so it's always kind of been like, because a lot of my friends they all watch The Office. They all watch but Scrubs, even though it was a very popular show, like a lot of my circle, that was kind of like it's like me and my cousin were the only people like I knew that watched it.
Right.
And so like I really enjoyed it. And so and I love that they like I wasn't sure. I'm like, because Bill Lawrence, the guy who did that, he did Spin City, he did Ted Lasso, he does Shrinking. He's really come into his own with, especially with the huge success of Ted Lasso. So I wasn't sure. I'm like, are they gonna like try to like, oh, hey buddy, lasso it? Are they just gonna go like super like
Super sappy
like,
and
sappy and something? Or I'm like,
are we going to lose the silliness? Yeah.
a little bit. And they basically, if you liked it before, you're gonna like it. They same vibe, but also the same heaviness when they need it and everything. So yeah, I'm just gonna piggyback with it because that was like one of my favorite things this week too, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, that's cool. It's funny. I didn't get into Scrubs, but I'm gonna start watching it because I've seen funny moments from the show, but I was like an Office, Parks and
Well,
Recreation more
Yeah,
so.
same.
And Arrested Development.
Yeah. But
yeah.
there are some laugh out loud, really hard moments in Scrubs. There are also some absolute tear-jerking
Heartbreaking,
moments. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Okay. Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm ready for the emotional roller coaster. Well, folks, that's gonna do it. Who you think's gonna win? Who's I'm sorry, who is our Rebook 24/7 champion? I'm gonna give it to Scrubs. 2 out of 3.
Scrubs.
So Scrubs it
Let's
is.
do it.
Screw you, MJF. Yeah. And Scrubs, great show. Obviously, these guys praise it. Check it out. Let us know what you think of the show as well. If you like to, and also all the things that we talked about on this episode. Lots to sink your teeth into. If you want to join us on Discord, you could do so by checking the link down below, and you will find that if you're watching on YouTube. But if you're listening to the show across the different podcast platforms, you can just go to www.rebookpod.com. There you can find links to our socials, and you can stay connected with us, and and also find our Discord there, so you can join that as well. Thank you all so much for tuning in this week. Master shout out to Matt and Jake for dealing with my wonky time. It is 10:05 here in Chile right now, and I have to pack and get ready for a flight tomorrow evening, and also prep for work. So it's been a crazy.
You coming back stateside? Finally?
Coming back stateside, that's right. I'll be back, but I'm filming another thing. We're doing season 5 of the State Farm Gamerhood Challenge in LA. Very grateful, especially nowadays, but it's, just a little tired, but we're working through it. So anyway, thank you all so much. If you love this show, if you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a like, make sure you subscribe, and more importantly, we will see you next week, same time, same place, right here at Rebooked. Goodbye, friends. Later.